Very good. Blackbird, who's sitting next to Watchman there, is also from Milwaukee and a member of the Challengers. One of the cool things about Blackbird is he's always showing off some sort of gadget. He has like night vision binoculars and really awesome gear. So I wanted to ask you, there's a variety of things that people carry with them on patrol. Some people carry pepper spray or tasers or even batons and stuff like that. What type of gear do you carry with you when you're on patrol? And I think equally important, what type of stuff don't you carry with you?
I think surveillance is important because if you're doing any kind of collection of evidence for like use in the future, it's good to have something that you can show in real time. And I love taking advantage of technology. If you looked 5 years ago, nothing like global satellite imaging was available. Now it's on everybody's phone. I mean, Blackberries were doing it in almost real time. So that's available to the public. So why not take advantage of it? A few things I prefer not to carry a lot of the little bit more intense, less than lethal weapons. You'll see a lot of batons. I'm barely comfortable even carrying mace or anything of that nature. And it's I mean, when you look at things like current events that are happening now with misunderstandings happening with people watching out for people they're trying to at night, what negative things can happen. I think it's hard when you're dressed like this, but it's nice to try to avoid any misunderstandings.
Okay. Electron used to live in Masseny, now lives in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Here's, I think, a frequently asked question I get about real-life superheroes. Do your family and friends know what you do? And if so, what do they think of what you do?
Well, there's no possible way I could have kept it from my particular family. So. They all know about it. They support it. Sometimes they help me out with handouts, getting supplies together, asking different people for different things that we need for different charities and nonprofits. Sometimes they help me pick out new gear. Sometimes we go to a toy store and look at new gadgets and whatnot. So they're pretty supportive. Wouldn't be able to really do it without it. So.
Good. Okay, Crimson Catalyst is with us, and she operates out of Chicago mostly. Crimson, you're the only female real-life superhero up here, so I wanted to ask you, do you think that you face any additional or particular challenges being a female real-life superhero as opposed to being a male one?
Oh, not at all. I'm actually pretty buff.
Have you ever had any issues dealing with your male counterparts, or have you gotten along with them?
No. Actually, when I first started this, when I researched it on the internet and found so many other people who did the same thing, the first thing that I did was reach out to people in Chicago to see if there were any active real-life superheroes, because I wanted to get in on this. And I started a group for a while. We didn't have a name, but we all operated together, and as a group, our focus was homeless outreach. And I made homemade soups and stuff to pass out to the homeless. So if there's one thing, being a female superhero, it's really nice to have a bunch of big strong guys to carry all the soup that I make.
She makes a lot of soup.
It's pretty good too, right? No, but one thing, like doing the homeless outreach, I think one of the most poignant moments in doing this for me was one of my very first patrols, when I met a homeless woman named Muriel. And this was during the cold season. It was about 20 degrees out, 2 o'clock in the morning, and she was still outside in a wheelchair, and she had one leg. And she said that she had lost it to the cold, and the other one was wrapped up in all these blankets. So I knelt down in front of her and tried to warm her leg for her while my teammate rounded up supplies for her to get her something to eat. And she said that the homeless shelters here in Chicago at the time were unaccommodating for her because they were unsafe for someone in her condition with other homeless people who may take advantage of her. So that was very alarming to me, and I think that's something that inspired me to continue doing what I do.
Moon has collaborated with Crimson quite a few times, and he's currently operating out of Chicago, but he's soon moving to San Francisco.
Yes.
And I was wondering if you could just tell us, what you're going to be doing out in San Francisco and how it might differ from what you're doing here in Chicago.
Well, officially I'm moving to San Francisco for school, so I really need to focus. That's my #1 priority. But I'm still going to be superheroing, if that's a word. But I would think I would mostly do outreach, because that's what I've mostly been doing. Not so much crime prevention, but like Crimson said, we mostly do homeless outreach and charity work. But there are a lot of real-life superheroes in the San Francisco area. The California Initiative, Motor Mouth, I know of, and We Talk. And it's really interesting to learn that many of them want me on their team, basically. But I prefer to work just with everyone, but more along the lines of charity work, like homeless outreach or child hospital visits. Basically anything that can raise money for causes.
Okay. And last, we have Geist here from Rochester, Minnesota. And let me tell you, I've met this guy so many times. I met him in Rochester. I've met him twice in Minneapolis, once in Milwaukee, and once in San Diego. And it's been great. He's a great guy. And Geist, I just wondered if you could tell us about the type of work you do individually and the type of work that you do with Razorhawk and the Great Lakes Alliance. Razorhawk was going to be here, but he unfortunately couldn't make it. So I was wondering if you could talk about your collaboration with him.
Sure. Individually, one of my first important missions was disaster relief. In 2007, southeastern Minnesota experienced a series of very bad rains which flooded many, many towns: Rushford, Lewiston, St. Charles, and Stockton. These are small towns, and so I used my Geist account, which is dedicated only for things related to this, to buy supplies and load a truck and take it to these various towns. With Razorhawk, we both do anti-crime patrols, basically safety, patrolling the streets, making sure everybody's okay and happy and safe. I carry neutral gray spray paint with me. If I see gang graffiti, I obliterate it. The city doesn't belong to them, it belongs to the people. And we do a lot of homeless outreach, and the homeless are everywhere, and there are so many, and we can help so few, but we're out there trying.
Okay. Well, now I'm going to open the questioning up to you. I see a microphone there, if anyone wants to step up the microphone, otherwise shout it out. Sure, let's start with you.
Thank you. I'll just shout it out. So thank you guys for coming out. A question for Geist. You go out on the anti-crime patrols. Do you find that wearing your outfit may sometimes provoke attacks or altercations that could have been avoided?
Well, it's interesting because when I'm not being photographed, the mask is down so that people can see me smile and they see a friendly face. But, as soon as anyone says, I'd like to take your picture or get you on video, this has got to go up. So I understand your point, and it can look a little scary, which could be intimidating, but I'm pretty good at